Welcome to Tran wins Baldur's Gate 3. This section is buggy a little bit, so I hope you'll forgive me if I make a save. It's buggy in that I want to show you something. We'll have Tran move in alone. Everybody else, go ahead and start sneaking. And we'll have you position yourself over here.
Need to press onward.
Actually, yeah.
That symbol in the blood. What does it mean?
That symbol, he's talking about that right there. They're in position. Our objective is to talk to him. You'll notice that we only have attack icon. I have found that the most reliable method to talk to Flind, the Gnoll Warlord, is to just let the Warlord approach you in battle without attacking any of the Gnolls. That's why we're not, again, like with before, we're not actually starting battle like we should, because we want to start with the dialogue instead.
Hear that? Someone's fighting the Gnolls. We should help.
Don't be a fool, lad. Shut your mouth and keep your head down. Leave the heroics to them that don't value their own skin.
Oh, actually, I didn't save yet. I guess I'll do so after they've taken their turn. Jeez, I've taken so much damage. Yeah, let's go and do a Hellish Rebuke at this time. This is a big battle. Oh wait, I just hit them. I might not get the dialogue now. Alright, if I don't get the dialogue, I will replay all those fights up to this point and then get you that dialogue. Alright, I'm gonna make a save now, because I don't think I did so before. I can't do my potion of healing because I don't have a bonus action soul numb. Can I read scrolls? Yes, I can. What can I read that won't be an immediate attack in case the Hellish Rebuke didn't lock me out of dialogue? I mean, I saw Blur earlier. That might be the only thing that I can do right now. Right, Blur it is. Hopefully he will get to talk, because that is something I'm banking on. There we go.
With a shock of psychic pain, the pack leader's mind clamps onto yours. You see yourself through her eyes, a pulsing red cluster of organs. Feast. No, the voice has forbidden this meat. Gnolls see your whole world as a meal. This voice is acting as a leash, but it won't hold them for long.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Search her mind for the source of the voice.
A memory. The beast daubs the symbol of the Absolute on a cave wall in blood. Buried deep, a tadpole struggles to assert control against the ravenous chaos of her mind.
Focus on the tadpole. How did it come to be there?
You see drow and goblins restraining her. a mind flayer reaching out, and then the voice bringing order. Eating this meat was forbidden, but it would lead her to a feast.
She wants meat. Command her to feast on the other gnolls. Very, very simple. She's so hungry. And of course, the time I don't need a big roll, I get my 20.
Sensing your presence, the Gnoll's tadpole writhes in ecstasy, echoing your command. Its host will feast on Gnoll flesh to control the hunger, to keep her teeth from your throat.
Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten.
So we get an impressive 315 XP for this. If we want 75 more experience, we should turn Flind hostile to us before she dies. NPCs do not necessarily turn hostile in the middle of battle on the first hit, because I have given a death blow to Flind and I still didn't get experience. I need to completely make sure Flind is hostile. While our crew is still hiding in the corner there, we don't want to initiate battle with them yet, because the whole point of sending Tran in alone is to focus the enemy on Flind. That's 100 extra hit points my party could have, essentially. Okay, that was really good. I don't think I got hit after the dialogue, so we actually will make a save. I don't know why the enemy can still... Hold on. That's an opportunity attack. They shouldn't be able to make opportunity attacks on me because I have the Moondrop Pendant. When the wearer has 50% hit points or less, they don't provoke opportunity attacks. I also have the Spurred Band. I should have Momentum, but I don't see it. I have Soul Numb, which removes my bonus action. Blur, Threaten, I don't see it. So I guess it didn't work, maybe because of the dialogue that happened in between. I'm going to go ahead and make a save now. And let me think here. What are the odds they will hit me? What's Blur do again? Gives me attackers have disadvantage. Okay. Let me think. I could Darkness. I don't think it'll help though, because they're already at disadvantage to attacking me, so I don't think that'll work. An Armor of Agathis, actually, and that would do a little bit more damage. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. That's gonna basically give me 10 hit points and 10 cold damage. If I were to say do a Lightning Witch Bolt, is probably the only other spell I have, which will do enormous amounts of damage. None of these guys actually need a Witch Bolt. So we'll cast Armor of Agathis. Oh yeah, I was wondering what happened to my other spell. It was a Hellish Rebuke. That's right. So now I have 17 hit points. I should maybe be able to back away.
Very well.
Thank you, Blur. All right. Again, I don't want to get these guys into battle just yet. I want them to really, really get closer to Flind. Now, Flind cannot solo all of them, especially with these archers. So if I were to attack, I need to kill these archers. Who's looking this direction? Who's oh, this guy? He's seeing through the rock wall to make this cone happen. Now, I can't tell for sure, but I think that this is safe. It's got the full sun on it, but the reason I say I can't tell for sure is this red masking layer may not always be on top of the ground. Let's go and ungroup at this time. And throw. Not one of those. Open the bag. Throw this maybe? I don't know. Let me think here. Do I want to? Acids should decrease their armor class, I believe. Yeah, so this has acid effect. Reduce armor class by 2. Okay, yes.
If this isn't important.
Re-enable dual wielding.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
I don't want to necessarily have her run over to heal Tran right now. He's out of range of the archer, so that's really all that he needs to do. The melee is going to be tied up by Flind. I don't need a silence. I don't... Oh, I don't know if this is part of the recent patch. All I really remember about the patch is now your character holsters the Everburn blade. I thought that was intentional because it's on fire. Why would you put it on your back? Somehow it's magical back straps, right? But anyways, I don't know if this is part of the new patch, but permanently armed is on Flind. Creature cannot be disarmed. They may have added this to people or something to keep people from casting command and drop weapons or something. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I don't know. Let's see, what should she do? I think you might be able to go over stealth lines by jumping. Oh, that's gonna make me prone. That was absolutely... For a second I saw it didn't say it, so I thought it was safe to jump. Alright, well that didn't quite work out as well as I wanted. Because she went prone for a second, I think that's what broke stealth. I have jumped over sight lines before. Alright, let me think. I guess we'll try killing this one first. They really, really want to kill Tran. I wonder if that's part of the normal AI or if that's tactician AI, because, you know, taking out a character is a pretty big deal. Alright, this guy hasn't gotten a move yet, so we might be able to just finish him off first. I was getting in position to do an athletics check on him. She doesn't have a bonus action, I think because she stood up. That's pretty sure. Because even though it didn't look like she stood up, I believe that's really what happened. She doesn't even have a bonus action anymore. And she doesn't have an action because she started her fight by throwing the vial. Maybe the jump initiated battle. So I think we will be able to just send her this direction to help cover Tran. The enemy is apparently willing to take opportunity attacks in order to try to finish off Tran. It looks like it's kicked in now, because I don't see the opportunity attack lying. Back up. Scorching Ray. This is from his circlet. There's supposed to be a beam, but I don't think my computer loaded the beam yet. I was hoping to wait to get to high ground before casting the stuff, but since they're basically on his tail. Alright, a couple things. Once Flind has killed all of the Gnolls, he will get full health, because NPCs typically regenerate all their health when they're not in active battle. So if I want to maintain Flind's position as being wounded, I will need to start fighting first. Well, okay, I will say that, okay, you know what? Like with the hyenas, we're going to go with a different route, but I'm just letting you know that's how you would maximize XP gains. You get a 75 for killing Flind. We're actually not going to worry about killing Flind because there is a dialogue option that you could take. The only reason I wasn't thinking about doing it was because you don't get experience for this. But that's fine. It is better video if I do this special dialogue option. Can I dash? Oh, Lae'zel has a...
Victory awaits.
Tran can still back off. He's still so numbed because that's why he can't drink any potions.
I'm ready.
Lae'zel swoop in. I worried that there wouldn't be enough movement if Tran was blocking that angle. The game does not calculate rush attack very well. Okay, I clicked it for sure. That's why it disappeared. Okay, the game still is having trouble calculating rush attack, I think. Miss, but now she's in the way. Now she's really in the way.
What should I do?
For this one, she's not going to be able to kill it even if she were to hit it with one of these things. I mean, unless I rolled maximum firebolt. So I guess we will go ahead and dash.
Have to keep going.
And make sure it suffers a disadvantage to shooting. We'll also try to keep it from getting more high ground. I probably should have shoved first and then figured out what my positioning would be. That's fine. Doesn't need the drink. That was a very awkward commanding of the AI there. You basically ran away from the melee target, provoked an opportunity attack, and then decided to turn around and attack again. I'm assuming the AI probably reevaluated after the attack was spent, and then decided to go and attack. So it probably doesn't decide everything on the first second of battle. See if Lae'zel could finish off this guy. We'll start with Lae'zel. Soul numb, can't do anything.
Can't slow down.
The dance macabre.
She gets her bonus action back, so now she can heal up.
My faith will protect me.
Unfortunately, this really is based off of her intelligence. This is her racial attribute as a half-elf. Because I have withers, and I tested a little bit above where we are now, I was able to get a level 5 team and just rolled every class. There's actually different spells depending on your subclass. Not that many dispels though. And I'll explain more about that in a future episode. But I turned one of the half-elves with Firebolt into a sorcerer, gave that sorcerer the Firebolt cantrip, and yes, there are totally 2 different Firebolts that person can use, their racial intelligence one and their charisma-based one. Even though Firebolt does more damage, I'm more likely to miss with it. That chance is still apparently the same for this one. I guess we'll go ahead and take a swing. That did soften him up somewhat, so Astarion does stand a chance of actually finishing him off. Don't have advantage against that target, so we'll just take a regular shot.
Can't give up.
Alright, and we want to kind of keep away, because the enemy is totally willing to take opportunity attacks just to harass me. I mean, I guess that's a good time to use a bow, sure. That's what I've been doing wrong all this time. When they eat the corpse, you still get all the loot. Just hold down Alt, and you can click on the corpse afterwards. So that Gnoll Hunter, even though his body isn't showing anymore, you can just hold Alt and click on that text. Gnoll will come up and talk to us.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of her pack wasn't enough to satisfy her.
Unfortunately, there's no awesome animation for this, but it is interesting as a dialogue option. Remember that if you want the most experience points, you do want to fight her. But right now, she's actually, as far as I know, she should have all her hit points back. No, she doesn't. Okay. So yeah, if I wanted, I would definitely ambush her and get 75 experience points. By dominating her mind, commanding her to feast on herself, you get nothing. That's sad. Maybe they'll patch that.
Her tadpole responds, thrashing violently, and the fragile tissue of her brain tears and splits. You taste the blood in her throat, feel it pooling in the cavity of her skull. But she still resists.
Before we do that wisdom check, we might as well get everybody grouped up and join the conversation.
Gently.
There is actually, we'll talk to them real quick just to get their dialogue on camera. When you talk to them and the fight isn't concluded, you get this dialogue.
If you're here to help, get to the fight quickly.
Normally, he'd talk to you and ask you for help with the Gnolls.
Really?
Ollie, I think, is the same.
Ah! Oh, gods! I thought you were one of them beasts.
The camera definitely is very jittery on that. And the reason why I wanted everybody up here is to go ahead and cast Guidance. Even though she has Guidance, so you don't need this amulet, I do still have the Amulet of Guidance, which we get in Emerald Grove by the bear next to the Idol of Sylvanas. So we have a spare ability to cast Guidance. In this case, it'll actually come in handy. Let's give her a 1d4 bonus on her wisdom check. Harness your willpower and order her to devour herself. So get a 15 DC, that's pretty high, but we managed to succeed. The Guidance may literally have saved our day there.
Your tadpole wriggles, contented, as she tears out her own throat.
There's an illithid parasite in that corpse. You should take a look.
Thank the gods that's over. Might have been more survivors. I don't suppose you saw any of my crew alive out there.
Okay, so we got 20 experience points just for making quest progress. That is not the same thing as Flind's death. All I saw was blood and guts.
Damn it. I guess that's a no. Risen Road's more dangerous than ever. You're the first friendly face we've seen since Eltergard.
Eltergard's a long way from here. Where are you heading?
We're bound for Baldur's Gate. Got some cargo to deliver. But we've a stop to make along the way.
Where is that?
Waukeen's Rest. It's just up the road. I'd be enjoying a mug of ale right now if those beasts hadn't jumped us. Listen, you look like you know how to handle yourself. You should meet my associates. We've got our own drinking spot by the tavern. Invitation only. Tell the fellow on the door, Little Serpent, Long Shadow. He'll take good care of you.
Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and cast guidance on Tran so that he can have a better chance of succeeding on the next roll. What's in the chest? Your cargo?
Aye, the whole reason we're in this mess. Trinkets for some rich tosser in Baldur's Gate. He gets his shiny baubles. We get a handful of Tarenths.
Tarenths are the currency of the Zentarim, a network of merchants and mercenaries with few scruples.
All right, I don't know much about the Zentarum, though. In one of the Gold Box games, they were kind of the bad guy cannon fodder. Maybe like Dark Knights of Krynn or something. You're Zent. I'd wager more than just your crew have died over these baubles.
You know who we are. Very clever. And you probably also know it's not smart to interfere with Zent business. This is the point when a clever lad like you accepts my gratitude and walks away.
Now, if you don't ask him about his cargo, you can actually intimidate him for money. If you succeed, you get 38 gold. If you fail, he attacks you. It's actually kind of cool. It's a very, very low row to fail, and I only had that happen once. If the final product looks worthy, I think I'm going to try to make some compilations of things like skill checks and whatnot, and this would be included in an intimidation fail compilation. This is your employer's mess, but we can profit. Let's sell the cargo ourselves. And the reason for this is I just want to separate these two. If you persuade them, they're no longer watching the chest. And we get another point of approval. We managed to succeed, thankfully.
I like the way you think. Didn't expect to turn this horror show to my advantage, but why not? The chest's all yours. Damn thing's sealed tighter than a duke's purse strings, so there's no point in trying to open it. I know a fence in Baldur's Gate who'll take it off your hands. Nobody will be the wiser. Don't try to cut me out of the deal, though. The Black Network has eyes and blades everywhere. Crafty swine like you could make a name for yourself in the Zahentarim. Make sure to drop by our hideout.
That sounds like very, very interesting, but he's not going to survive to work on the next stage. That's one of the clever ways a writer or developer can do things to make it seem less open-ended. Is it sounds like, this is a completely different direction than normal. So if you, for example, you save these people and then they return the chest, you're thinking like, wow, there's a whole hidden quest. Sort of, but not really.
Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky.
Let's check the corpses. So we want them to kind of wander away from each other because we're going to kill them. This dead caravan agent, you might have noticed that there's this blue blade on them. The Speedy Reply. This is a light scimitar. I think Astarian's the one who will use it. Let's see here. No, it's not as good. I don't know if maybe Will's the one who used it. I know I equipped it to one of those two.
Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
As for Flind gave me the Shattered Flail. This gives me 1 to 6 hit points every time you hit somebody, but you can go mad, which basically means you will attack friend and foe. You can go mad if you don't hit an enemy every turn. Alright, so we are going to slaughter them both. Just wandering around in there. By persuading them, this is no longer red, meaning that I can pick up the box. Don't open this.
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
Or do that.
Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky.
Let's move.
The cave has some loot around it. Okay, Ollie's wandered back in. That's good. Take our shots.
You sought a fight, and now you have one.
Apparently you didn't finish him off. He only shot the one blast. Right? That was only the one hit. But it's definitely 2 blades right there. Fine, whatever, game. It's not her turn. Ollie's gonna get the move before that. Guess we'll try to finish him off again. It's not. He's not even surprised. The initiating battle's always really, really wonky if you haven't been able to tell. That's like 3 battles I've done, and all 3 of them have been a little wonky. Now, one of the things you can do before you kill or attack people is you can trade away their items from them and then attack them, but you don't always get all your gold back. I just hate that battle began normally. That was a total sneak attack.
Where do I go from here?
Games really insist on panning my camera. I have tried turning off dynamic camera in the options, and it still pans my camera anytime you select a different character. Alright, so we got 40 XP for each person, and an additional 60 for progressing the quest. That is an additional 140 experience points you wouldn't normally have gotten. And Lae'zel's walking into the fire. That's awesome. I love it when the AI does not try to pathfind around bad environments. They don't really have anything useful on them. They got some alchemist fire. It's fine. Hand crossbow's probably the most useful thing, because I like being able to do an offhand attack afterwards. Let's go ahead and talk to them. I like Ollie's statement when you ask him what happened.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
What happened to you?
You happened.
I sure did. What were you transporting?
Chest. Locked. Dangerous.
Where were you heading?
Hideout. Beneath Waukeen's rest.
Who are you again?
Ollie. The interim agent.
Now, normally they don't talk to you because you're the killer.
Enough to consider.
But apparently these guys don't care that much.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
What happened here?
Some killer looked a lot like you.
Where were you heading?
Tavern. The interim hideout.
And how do I find this hideout?
Beneath tavern. Need password.
We're not allowed to ask for the password, but it might be because we already know it. What's inside the cargo?
Wizard shipments. Secrets. Dangerous.
Who are you again?
Rogan.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Okay, I've gone ahead and explored the cave, and there's only one thing of real interest, but looks like Shadowheart really wants to speak to us.
There's something I've been wanting to share with you, if now's a good time.
You're voluntarily telling me about yourself. Are you feeling unwell? Is it the tadpole?
No. The opposite. I feel like I can share this with you. I've never felt that way before. It's difficult to put into words. I think it might be easier to just show you. Use the tadpole. The connection. Come into my mind.
What am I going to see?
How I came to be who I am. How I found my way to Lady Shar's embrace.
Okay, so I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm going to assume it's going to be narration dialogue, but I think it'd be cooler if it was a cutscene. Are you sure?
I'm sure. I trust you.
Use the parasite to explore her mind.
I don't remember how it started. Only how it ended. I was fleeing. She asked my name. I can't remember what I said. I can't remember anything before those words. All I know is she saved my life and gave me a new home with Lady Shar. It hurts. That's all I remember.
Something sparks in your memory about Selûnite rites of passage. You heard once about how they would send their children out into the wilds to navigate their way home.
No, I don't think every role is shown to the player, but I'm going to assume that in this case, any player character, regardless of religion, insight, or history, or even arcana skills, would automatically get this message that we recognize this. Again, I wasn't trying to spoil anything by assuming that she's actually a Selûnite. It's just everything screams that direction, especially with the weird pain thing that's happening. You look like you were wearing a moonstone. Isn't that commonly worn by Selûnites?
You're reading too much into things. A childhood bauble, that's all. Just because Selûnites claim something doesn't mean they own it.
You don't need to be that defensive about it. No wonder you're so dedicated to Shar. You feel like you owe your life to her.
Lady Shar. But yes, her and those who saved me and taught me her ways. The Mother Superior. She made me who I am. At least as best as I can remember. She taught me, trained me, punished me when I failed her. Which was often.
That sounds pretty convenient for her. It's almost like abuse.
Abuse? Nonsense. The Mother Superior made me strong. For the Dark Lady.
All right, and these conversations look like they could wait till later. We'll hold off on those for a future episode. This Gnoll, it doesn't have the chest icon to show that I want to search it. However, if you search this Gnoll, or at least pick up the Hydra ear that's hidden beneath the body, that gives us a new recipe, Ashes of Hyena Ear. In this cave, I went and searched stuff. There's only a couple things that are noteworthy.
Never wanted the easy path.
I'll go ahead and point them out. First off, if you did jump over here past this chasm, you might not be able to get back, so just use your map to teleport to another waypoint and then return. Over here is a magical item that I think we'll have for Karlach. Let's get this out of the way. Oh, I'm trying to drag these away, but it keeps opening them. Behind a mine and a locked chest is our Gloves of Reason's Grasp. When the wearer chooses to end their rage, they gain 15 temporary hit points. Sounds pretty awesome. This is probably the other way you could have gone in if you weren't going to fight the Gnolls head on. You could sneak through and steal the chest without anybody noticing. However, let's take a look, because there's actually a lot of good loot here. My idea of loot is probably not standard ideas of loot. What do I mean? There are so many of these barrels here. To me, that's good. There's alcohol. By the way, there is one barrel of these near the hyenas, the pregnant ones. Be careful not to left click it to search because you think it's a barrel. It's actually a fire wine barrel. Let me see if I can find one. Yeah, left, you'll see a sword icon on it, and it's like, oh, by then it's too late. You'll have clicked on it, and then you'll blow yourself up. Well, maybe a fire wine barrel is really... Here's one. I knew there was one. A fire wine barrel just spills alcohol everywhere. We're not going to worry about picking them all up right now, but yes, this is probably what I would consider the best loot. Further down the cave are some tripwires. You want to be careful about that.
Looks like a trap there.
How considerate.
There's 2 tripwires, and you can also knock down all the scaffolding, and all of this will result in this boulder, which you could use to possibly try to kill off those gnolls or something. So let's go ahead and just disarm this trap. And then with all the alcohol being smashed, you could easily light it up. Can I squeeze past this?
How much farther can I go?
Huh, guess not. Alright, whatever. Can I smash these? Can I athletics check this? No. Alright. So where this is right next to the outpost, the toll collectors road. And there's actually a waypoint marker here, one of these right there. Sorry, I forget that the camera will pan directly to that waypoint. So yes, there's a waypoint marker there that we'll claim later. Let's go and hop on over. And if you have problems getting your crew over, which happens on this one pretty easily, just ungroup and take control of your crew. Astarion probably won't make it. If I were to switch to him, my characters will start jumping back, so we're just going to go ahead and manually do this. Come on. I know he can make it over. There we go. Good job.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Before we proceed onward, let's real quick change our party. Okay, we replaced Astarion with Will for this next section. We'll be swapping characters quite a bit. Additionally, we'll go and use Illithid powers. I want Cold a week. I'm not 100% sure I actually do, because it says here, when I bring a creature down to fewer hit points than the number of evolved powers, so this will be my 3rd power, that means that if it is at 2 hit points, it'll just die. We're basically essentially reducing every enemy by 2 hit points. Additionally, it says it dies and all nearby creatures take 1 to 4 psychic damage. It says all nearby creatures, that probably means allies. But if it doesn't, this could be very good. So we're going to try for this. Now, I wasn't really sold on Concentrated Blast, and I tried thinking like, what can I do that's concentration? Friends is concentration. So I might be able to pull this off. So we're going to go and put in a worm there, and that'll unlock the option to get Cold Weak next. What I would probably try to do, and I don't know if it'll work, is I'll cast Friends on Withers, who doesn't really care what I do to him. You can punch him. Now, that being said, don't get caught by the dog. If you athletics check him and the dog sees you, he becomes hostile. I could cast Friends on Withers. That's a concentration spell. And since he's not in the map, the turn timer doesn't seem to tick down when Withers is not around, meaning Friends should last indefinitely. Meaning I can cast this Concentrated Blast like once a battle if I chose to return to camp. That sounds really cool. I don't know if it's going to work that way.
Have to keep going.
So yes, this is the cave, and they were heading to Waukeen's Rest. Put it in perspective. This road, I have no idea where this road is supposed to lead to. You might think it's through the Blighted Village, but your characters, as you're wandering through the village and constantly warping in and out, they keep having side conversations, and they imply that this blighted village was destroyed for a very long time. But assuming that they moved in from there, the only real options they could have gone is through this mountain pass, which essentially is the same mountain pass up here, or a swamp that's down here. Yeah, there's the Emerald Grove over here, but realistically, I don't know where this caravan could have been coming from. Essentially, though, since the wagons themselves continue past the bridge, we can even rule out the village, because here's where the wagon starts from, and then it moves. This is basically strewn throughout this whole thing. But yes, this is where the ambush took place, and here's the cave. Here's Waukeen's Rest, where they were heading to, and we'll see that right as we turn the corner. Wanted to kind of give you a layout because I'm going to show you all this ruined wagon stuff. It's still ruined up here, all the damage, and literally from the edge of the wagon, the destroyed wagon, and there's the blighted village. Still more destroyed wagons, or what you want to call it. And then you can literally see Waukeen's Rest, the walls of Waukeen's Rest right there. The way our camera is, it doesn't really let you see it too well, but we know that it's right there.